Welcome back to another Persistent Universe project update. Let's take it to the roadmap. Starting with characters, we can see how some of our mission givers have evolved from concept renderings and early models. We've seen a lot of Battaglia over the past few weeks. Although her animations are still being polished, it's great to see her coming to life. Brunt's current version has a different look to the concept, but his uncompromising attitude certainly stays the same. The last character for today is our pal Klim, whose dialogue and animations are being fine-tuned and tested. Before we move on to mining, let's take a look at a few colours being considered for the updated RSI flight suits. The idea is to find something that really fits a particular piece and its lore, rather than just adding variation for the sake of it. Testing is ramping up on the scanning and radar feature you'll use when mining, and the feature teams are still working out the look of the grid and the size of the blobs. We've come a long way since last week's look, but there are things to work out to make sure it works in a fun and intuitive way. Testing also continues on how rock and other mineable assets spawn. You'll be digging up planets in no time at this rate. The audio team is still fine-tuning sound cues and effects to really bring the mining mechanic to life. Check out this new and improved take on the laser audio. And this recent test on the sound effects associated with the tractor beam. As you can tell, balancing the sound of the beam itself with the friction of the rocks is key to enhancing the experience. Work on item kiosks resumes, with branding and UI integration getting really close to completion. It's great news, as these are the first steps towards making it possible to buy ships and their components in-game. Development on quantum linking is making significant progress, so it won't be long until you can quickly cross the gaps between worlds to engage in jolly cooperation. Work has progressed on a new mission type, where we effectively set out to blow stuff up. The target in this concept is the first prop we built using the new ship pipeline. Moving on to ships, we start with the Aegis Hammerhead. Its materials and lighting have been tweaked, while a sharp new colour palette hammers home its more progressive personality. Interior work is coming along nicely, as we can see from these shots of the corridors. The Anvil Hurricane isn't far away now that it's reached its final art phase. The same goes for the rework on the Consolidated Outlands Mustang. Here we can see a few improvements on what we saw in the last PU update. General thruster animation and behaviour are getting a spot of attention too, and are looking super sharp, as you can see in this flight test. Finally, we get a further look at what the environment art team are doing with the tundra biome over on Hurston, and can see some of the progress being made to botanical shading and lighting. Here's the latest from the city of Lorville. You can see how the worn industrial feel of this long-suffering city hints at its history and the bubbling unrest within. Keep an eye out to see how this city plays into the lore of Hurston Dynamics and the rest of the universe. And with that, another weekly update comes to a close. We'll be back next week with further updates. Until then, back to you guys in the studio.